morning, everyone, and welcome to today's class. I'm so glad that you're here today. Like you all know, my name is Anthony Phillips Njoko, and today we'll be handling 10 assets you can invest your money in because of the hyperinflation in the world. The last meeting we had, we talked about 10 ways to make money in our digital age. 10 ways to make money in our digital age. So today we'll talk about 10 assets. 10 assets you can now invest this money you have made so that this money will still have value in future. To be honest with you, the world is in a hyperinflation. The world is in a hyperinflation. When I talk about hyperinflation, every government in the world is printing more cash. Every government in the world is printing more cash. They are not solving the cost of inflation. Instead, they are printing more cash so that they can have more money to spend. But it's not the best way to solve inflation. So what this means for a layman is that, for instance, if you went to the market to buy a carton of eggs or a crate of eggs. Probably a crate of eggs could be 1,000 naira as at January. When the Federal Reserve Banks give authority to the bank, central bank, to print more money, and after they print more money, there is more circulation of money in the world, which means that 1,000 naira you're meant to use and buy that egg, the egg is not going to be 1,000 naira anymore. It's going to be 1,200 because it's going to cost more money to get that same product. So today I want to let you guys know about 10 assets you should invest your money in as soon as you make this money, which we talked about the last time. So if you have your pen and exercise book, you will be taking down notes. The first asset is real estate. The first asset is real estate. The first asset is real estate. Real estate, real estate. So how does real estate work? How does real estate work? Real estate as an asset is very, very profitable. Real estate as an asset is very, very profitable. And real estate is the only physical asset you can buy and still see it in the world every day. You can buy real estate and still see it in the world every single day of your life. You buy real estate and you can still see it in the world. It doesn't leave that position. One thing about real estate is that if you buy a house today, or you rent a house today, let me say, for instance, you bought that house for $2,000, which is around 1 million naira. You bought a house, 1 million naira. Come back 10 years time, that address you bought that house on is still the same address, real estate. So that's one important thing about real estate. One important thing about real estate is that the address never goes off. The address never goes off. So one thing you need to be aware of is that for you to be able to store your value, store your money very well, look for a land or look for a house and buy. Look for a house and rent out, because if you don't rent out this house today, probably in the next 6 months or 8 months, if it was meant to be 500,000 naira to rent this room or to rent this apartment, it's not going to be 500,000 naira anymore. Instead, the price will increase. So real estate is one important thing we need to watch out for whenever we are investing our cash. Real estate. Go to a very good low location and get a house there. Probably you rent it out and you get the house, you rent the house. Probably one thing a pastor taught me, the pastor is a well-known friend to me. He taught me that if you have like 1 million naira, you don't know what to do with it, go to a very new building that they just built, and the landlord is now giving it out. Rent 2 or 3 rooms there. You're not staying there, just rent it. Okay, you pay 300 for the 3 rooms, which is 900,000 naira. Then When people come for that same room, you now become an agent to that room that you have rented out. Do you understand the game? You become an agent to that room you have rented for yourself. You rented the room for yourself with 900,000 naira. Then people will now come to take that same room. Instead of giving them that same room for 300, you rented it from the landlord. You're going to then put your own price. You're going to rent it for 450,000 naira. They will pay 450,000 naira to take the room from you, which is making you a profit of 150,000 naira on each 300,000 naira, or on each room, which is around 450,000 naira. So you use 900,000 naira to make 450,000 naira within a space of a month or two. And people keep doing this. Non-cities like Lagos, Abuja, big real estate guys that started small. You have to start small to grow big. You can start with just this renting of a room and then giving it out before you now move over to buying your own house, or renting your own house and then selling it off, or buying your own house and selling it off. Is one step at a time. Then the second on our list today is stocks. The second on our list today is stocks. And what is stocks? You may ask. What is stocks? Stocks has to do with any tangible product that has value. Any tangible product that has value. Any tangible product that has value is called stocks. Any tangible product that has value is called stocks. So stocks are products that have value. Stocks. For instance, we have the United States stocks now. The number one stock in the United States, known as the S&P 500. United States stocks, S&P 500, which is known as the top 500 companies in the United States of America. Their stocks. So S&P 500 is a very good asset you can invest in. And the rich people used to invest in those stocks very, very well. They invest in those stocks. S&P 500, they invest in those stocks very, very, very well. So one thing you need to be aware of is that whenever you want to invest your money, instead of holding your money in cash, you can go to the bank and buy a stock. You can open a brokerage account and buy a stock. Nigeria have stocks. Our banks in Nigeria, they have stocks. They have banking stocks. We have oil and gas stocks. We have real estate stocks. What does this mean? It means that you own a certain percentage or a certain amount of a company. For instance, if you invest in UBA Bank stocks today, and that means that you're a shareholder of the bank, that every year you'll be getting a dividend from this bank. And because you know that the bank is always going to be there to be able to offer financial services, then you know that for sure that you'll be able to earn your dividend at the end of the year. Or probably you can buy stocks of physical products. You can go to Indomie company, noodles company, and buy a pack, like or one trailer load of Indomie. That are stocks. You just bought stocks. And one thing about the stocks is that if it doesn't perish, it is unperishable goods. You can stand the chance of buying a trailer load of stocks worth 1 million naira today. As you buy this trailer load of stocks worth 1 million naira today, 2 to 3 months in future, to get a trailer load of that stock is not going to be only 1.5 million or 1.8 million. That means that you've already bought one trailer load at 1 million naira. And if you add your price, you say that they're not selling it 1.5 million, then instead of selling a carton for 900 naira, you're going to start selling your carton for 1,200 naira, because of price has increased in the market. It happens in every single product. Do you understand? So these are things you can store your money in. Then the third is land. Number 3 is land. Number 3 on our list is land. And I already talked about land when I talked about real estate. And for the land, it is almost similar with the real estate. It's more like you buying a portion of earth. It's more like you buying a portion of earth. And one thing about land is that it has scarcity. We have limited land on earth. That is why people like Elon Musk are thinking about taking us to Mars. People are now buying lands in Mars, outside planet Earth. They're not going to another planet to buy lands, and it's going to be very cheap right now. But it all depends on the network you have and the friends you have that will be able to get you to that part of the world to be able to invest in such assets. So the land on earth is very, 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 very scarce. And right now, some places like Dubai, they have limited lands. Instead, they have deserts. They have more deserts. So they started thinking and innovating to get artificial land. So the billionaires created an artificial land. There's what they call artificial land made of artificial sands, artificial water, and the rest. So it's in Dubai, and you can invest in those lands, but it's very, very expensive and it is very scarce. So you guys should think about buying lands when you make money from your business, from your job. You can be able to now invest in lands. The next is high holding currencies like the Swiss franc. High holding currencies like the Swiss franc. That is number 4. High holding currencies like the Swiss franc. High holding currencies. So what do I mean by high holding currencies? To be honest with you, the United States currency, is the world currency, but it is not fighting against inflation. Instead, it is the true cause of massive inflation that is happening in every country in the world. You guys might not know, but US prints money and ships this money to a country. I will not mention the name of the country, but they ship this money to a country to be able to use this money and buy lands, use this money and invest, use this money to keep hold of their political power in that part of the world. The United States of America, they do this. So if US does this, and this is corruption, is really corruption, that you're printing money, more money, and you move this money to another part of the world to be able to what? Use it and invest in assets there. The government of those part of the country will be aware that wow, this country is literally corrupting us, which is that the money that we have doesn't have value because US keeps printing money, and as they print money, they have a lot of debts they need to pay. Instead of paying the debts, they print more money, print more money, print more money, print more money. So it's not meant to be that way. It is not meant to be that way. Instead, how it's meant to work is this. Like the Swiss franc. Swiss franc is the most respected currency in the world right now. If you guys don't know, Swiss franc pegged their money to gold. They pegged their money to real assets like land. Just like when the US pegged their money to gold. But currently, right now, the US has removed their money from the gold standard. If you trade Forex, you understand this more. But Swiss franc still pegs their money to gold. They still peg their money to silver, and they still peg their money to land. That is why they always say Swiss bank. If you want to store your money in a very safe location, go to the Swiss bank. Big companies in the United States know the reason why they do all these transactions and store their money in Swiss banks because of the high holding currency which Swiss has. They peg their money to a certain amount. So if you have a certain amount of Swiss franc, you have the right to have a certain amount of gold in that bank. So if you say, okay, I don't want to hold my cash anymore, give me this portion of gold, they will. That is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Another currency you can respect is euro. Another currency you can respect is GBP, which is Great Britain pound. So after these three currencies, no other currency has respect. No other currency has respect than any of these other currencies I mentioned. So you guys need to be aware of what you do with your money and where you invest your money. What you do with your money and where you invest your money. So with that said, I hope that I've been able to explain I'm going to explain this vividly to you. The next on our list, number 5, is Bitcoin. Bitcoin. The next on our list is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is a very good currency. It's a very good currency. So number 5 is Bitcoin. So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin has to do with digital assets, digital currency, digital assets. And how does digital asset work? It works in different ways. For instance, you have one Bitcoin. It's equivalent to today around $41,000. So you're storing your value into Bitcoin. So since you're storing your value into Bitcoin, it means that no matter what happens, you're safe from inflation. Why do I say you're safe from inflation? Bitcoin has a limited supply. Limited supply. It has only 21 million pieces in the world. 21 million pieces. Bitcoin has only 21 million pieces in the world. And after these 21 million pieces has been minted and distributed into the economy of the world, no other Bitcoin will be printed in this world. No other Bitcoin will be printed, except that they're going to have a Bitcoin 2 or Bitcoin 2.0, just like Ethereum wants to have Ethereum 2.0. So Stellar, there is this coin, Stack that is forming, that is trying to make waves, that it is the next Bitcoin in line. Stack is the name of the coin. It's trying to make waves that it is the next Bitcoin in line. So we should watch out for all those coins. One thing I love about Bitcoin is that due to the law of demand and supply, when there is limited supply of a particular commodity in the world, it turns out to have what? High demand. And when that happens, the price of this currency has rapid chances of what? Going to the upside. So that is it about Bitcoin. That is it about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is one asset that we should look out for, and that is going to have massive value. Number 6 on our list is altcoins. Number 6 on our list is altcoins. Altcoins. And what is altcoins? Altcoins stands for alternative coins. Alternative coins. That's what altcoin is. Alternative coins. And by alternative coins, what do we mean? We mean that these coins have the opportunity to be very, very, very volatile in future. And they are like this the startup, the current startup we know of. Like Facebook has its own coin. Facebook has its own coin. YouTube has its own coin. Which other platform? There are different platforms that have their own coin. So it's like you buying into these companies right now, so that in future, when they now have a very large market cap, you're already a shareholder. So altcoins are alternative coins. Why Bitcoin is like a preserve of value. Altcoins are like companies. Like when we talk about the internet, when the internet came into existence, internet is like Bitcoin is like internet now. Internet. Let me now use something we know. Internet is Bitcoin. Then altcoins is Google, Facebook, Alibaba, Instagram, YouTube, that is inside the internet. So if you're able to buy a certain amount of stocks in Facebook as at in 1990, if you're able to buy a certain amount of stocks in Facebook as at in 2000, by now you'll be a millionaire and they will pay you dividends. That is what is currently happening. Bitcoin is like the internet. Altcoins are like Facebook. Web 3.0, which everybody I know must have heard about, is the future. So you buying into all these altcoins now gives you an opportunity to do what? Have a share in these companies. That's why I am advising everybody, start mining. Like mine every network you can get on. Mine, and every network you see now that you're mining their coins, they have high potential in future. They have rapid potential in future. Just one example I would like to show you guys is that ARC8 network. My friend mined that coin. He had up to 20 pieces of the coin. currently ARC8 is now a game fee. It is a game fee. Why a game fee? You play games, have competition with people inside this their platform, and then if you win a game, you win their coin. If you win a game, you win their coin. But my friend that had the opportunity to mine up to 20 pieces of their coin, even if he plays the game, he doesn't play the game, he still has their coin, and he can use it to buy a lot of things inside this game fee application and win more games because he has more money to invest in different tools in that game. So as he invests in different tools in that game, he can be able to win more competition, win more tournaments, and then come out with more coins, which he can then sell on an exchange and then live comfortably. Do you understand the vision? So there's a lot of things that are coming into existence. So you shouldn't pull back. You shouldn't pull back on it. Instead, we should try as much as possible to learn and implement, understand what you are investing in, read a book or two about it, and so on and so forth. That is altcoins. Then number 7 on our list is the popular one we everybody know and hear every day now, NFTs. NFTs is the number 7 on our list. NFTs. So everybody might be asking, what is NFTs? NFT is known for non-fungible tokens. Non-fungible tokens. What are non-fungible tokens? Non-fungible tokens are items that has unique value. Items that have unique value. Items that have unique value. And when I say items that have unique value, what do I mean? For instance, now let me say you have $500 with you. $500. If you go to the shopping mall like ShopRite and you want to buy a product, and you ended up not buying that product, instead they gave you $100, instead of giving you $500, a note of $500. No, I don't think they have a note of $500. They don't have a note of $500, but I'm trying to break it down that if you had, okay, let me break it down this way. If you had $100 with you and you went to the Burundi change, they're going to give you an equivalent in Naira, which means that this of $100 is equivalent to this in Naira. But when it comes to non-fungible tokens, which means that when you buy a piece of land in address Independence Layout, and then when you go to another address in Ababa, there are 2 different locations, 2 different buildings, 2 different structures, 2 different designs. They are unique. That is why a lot of companies now in Africa, we have the number 1 non-fungible token platform known as HashGrid. HashGrid is now selling non-fungible token real estate. So if you have your money in your bank that is doing nothing, you can go to HashGrid and buy a unique real estate for as little as 5,000 Naira. You own a piece of real estate in digital world, a piece of real estate which has a unique location, a unique address, and unique objects on it. HashGrid. If you chat me up, I can drop it for you. Or probably when I put this video on YouTube, I'll be able to drop the link on the description. So HashGrid is one platform now you can buy real estate in Africa. It is number 1 non-fungible token platform in Africa, in Nigeria, created by a Nigerian. So you guys can go into that. Also unique object like a piece of artwork. You have an artwork that is unique. No other person in this world was able to imagine to create that artwork. You're the only person that was able to create that artwork. You can be able to put this artwork inside what? A blockchain, and it's going to have unique value. So whenever you sell it to somebody, instead of, right now when you go to the bank, if they want to give you loan, they'll sign papers, then they'll give you the loan. But this time around in future, no need for signing anything. Only one person needs to give you is the transactional hash or the block code that is attached to that asset. As soon as you have that with you, you can be able to activate that asset in any D app, and then sell it or hold it. So there's a lot with NFTs, and this is where the future is moving to. The next one on our list, number 8, is gold silver, and bronze. Gold, silver, and bronze. Gold, silver, and bronze. So what you can invest your money in right now is gold, silver, or bronze. Gold, silver, or bronze. So one thing about this is that we need to know one thing about gold. Gold is something that our forefathers were investing in back then, say when we are not in the world. Our forefathers were investing in it, and it is not too technical compared to what we invest in right now in our generation. It is not too technical. It is straightforward. It is not too hard to understand. You can just walk into a bank. You have your 2 million naira. You talk to the bank manager. You need gold. They'll give you a certain amount of gold bar, and that is it. It's not technical. Whenever you want to sell it off, and gold has been increasing. Gold increased by 50. Sorry, it's increased by 5.8% last year. 5.8%. So when you say you bought gold, you bought gold worth you bought gold worth $1,000 last year, but at the end of last year you'll be making at least 5% of $1,000, which still stores your money compared to inflation. You have higher money. But wait, to be accurate with that information, I don't think it increased just 5%. I think it increased more than that. I think it's 50 something percent or so. I think it's 50 something percent or so that gold increased, not 5%. Because I read it online that gold increased because there's this academy that I studied how to invest. The academy is in Russia. So they always talk to us about assets that we can invest in, and one thing is gold. So they gave us this platform we can go to and always check the current increment in a particular asset class. So I will have to do some confirmation on that. I think it increased more than 5%. It's around five something when I looked at it. I think it's 56 or 52%. So if you had invested $1,000 in gold as a last year, you have increment of your money by 50% or 52% of your money. So that is wonderful about gold, and so, and it is very, very easy. It's very easy to understand. You just go to probably go to Burundi change. You get pure gold, not just sprayed stuff, pure gold. And as soon as you buy it, you're wearing it, or you store it in your bank, or you keep it in a very safe location. Whenever you need money, it's a store of value. You guys know that it is storing your money. If you need me that in future, if I say, okay, I want to sell this gold, instead of them giving me 100,000 naira, I bought this gold for, they're going to give me 112,000 or 110,000. Because it stored my money. It stored the value of my money. But you holding cash like that, let me say this year, January, gold is 100,000 naira based on the gram you buy. Then as at next year, that same gold you wanted to buy 100,000. If you come with that 100,000 naira, you know it's not 100,000 naira again. It is now 150,000. You'll be shocked. You have to go and get 50,000 naira to buy it. That is what inflation does. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Store your money in different assets, and these are the assets we are listing out. Then the number 9 on our list is livestock, like chicken, goats, cows, rams. All these things are livestock that has a very, very, very high tendency of surviving years and years. And you can also get byproducts, like from the chicken you can get eggs, from the ram you can get meat, from the cow you can get milk. So this is why you see most Fulani herdsmen, they prefer to get their cows healthy, give their cows food, and even feed their children. They prefer their children to come and take care of their cows instead of them going to school. So all these things are investments. Probably you're seeing them as a layman. Yeah, they look lay, but at least they have this understanding that livestock are assets. And I thank God. I thank God for our government that promotes agriculture. They promote agri very well, because I was watching the television the other day, and I was seeing I was seeing our government giving out loans. The Bank of Industry, they are giving out loans to farmers. They are giving out loans to farmers to start their fishery business, and the farmers were very very happy that the Bank of Industry supports their hard work. They're giving them support and the rest. So we should think about this, going to fishery, piggery, poultry, uh, well, livestock, because it has the high tendency of surviving time. And then the number 10 is art, artwork. Probably you guys might not know much about art. You're not familiar with art, but high rich individuals, kings, you go to their palace, you see different artworks there. And if you ask them, you say, I bought this artwork on an auction in London, or I bought this artwork on at an open auction online, because they have online platforms like um, master master arts. So masterworks.io. If you can't buy artworks worth $20,000 or artworks worth $10,000, you can invest in a bucket. You can invest in a bucket, like you put in the amount you can afford, $100, $200. Others you put in the amount there. They use their money to buy an artwork, and then in future, as this artwork increases in value, probably when you guys put the money together in this bucket, and raised up to $1,000, then you'll be able to use it to buy, this artwork worth $1,000. But I think there are some artworks that are worth $1,000. But for great artists, their artworks are worth around $10,000, $50,000, $1,000,000. Like if you check out all these NFT artworks of great artists like BP, and the rest, their artworks are worth $500,000 and the rest. So you guys have to put money in this bucket. You put in $1,000, you put in $2,000, and any amount you put in future, when that artwork increases in value, your artwork also increases in value rapidly, like more than 50% too. That's why Jay-Z has a lot of artworks in his house. That's why Davido, when they build this house, even Obi Kubana, if you watch some of his videos, you go to his special art room, you see this artwork that you've never seen anywhere before. So all these people, they buy artwork. So in future, you can be able to sell the same artwork and then get a lot of money out of it, because it stores value and it increases in value in future if you sell it to people that really know the value of what you have. So that is one thing about artwork. So you can go to masterworks.io, and then you can start investing in artworks that little as $100. You put it in a bucket, and then in future, when it appreciates in value, you have a certain amount you gain from the artwork when you withdraw your own portion of the bucket you invested in. So thank you so much for